Well, it has been an interesting campaign, but the person that's really sort of energized this has been Rory Stewart. He's come in and electrified this contest, which seemed pretty dull. He's also reached beyond our base. And if we're honest, the Conservative Party is not in a good place at the moment. We're not winning elections. We didn't do well in the Euro elections. We didn't do well in the local elections. We're down in the polls. And what's happened is he's speaking to the nation. He's talking about those real issues. And if we want to win and stay in number 10, it's not just about this skirmish of who's going to get there in the next couple of weeks. It's how we win the general election in 2022.
There is this whole debate about man for the moment as well. And we all know that Boris Johnson looks up to one man in particular, and that is Winston Churchill. Goodness knows he wrote a very favourable biography, which I read, and it just read like... well, can I say this? It read like a little. It read like he wanted to be Churchill as well going forward, having read a few of these biographies. But my point being as well, man for the moment as opposed to man for the future. Does Brexit require the skills that Boris Johnson can bring to the table?
Well, the concern that I have with Boris Johnson, and I think you touched on it in some of those clips there, I didn't enjoy the debate last night, I should say. Seeing some presidential debates, there are formats that tease out the best of the candidates, and there are others who actually, it just looked like people were taking chunks out of each other. And that isn't good for our party at all. But on Churchill, it's quite interesting. I mean, you go back and if you've read those books on him and seen how he wasn't so popular when he came through. He was the outsider. He was the one.
So much wrong in the 20s and 30s. He was seen as tarnished goods.
Absolutely. But he came with fresh, different ideas. Not all of them were accepted. Not all of them were taken forward. But he certainly shook things up. And that's what we're seeing with Rory Stewart. But specifically, we have this challenge of Brexit. If we don't resolve Brexit, our party dies. So we need to do that this autumn.
Just to finish off, Tobias, before Jeff comes in, you say he's got all these new ideas. He's basically talking about the withdrawal agreement that lost on MV 1, 2 and 3. The WAB didn't even get to Parliament because it was a disaster. He's basically talking about the same deal, though. You talk about fresh ideas, Tobias.
There's two deals that are there that are part one, part two. You leave the European Union, that's the terms of the divorce, if you like, and then there's the future trading relationship. Actually, right across the piece, nobody has real concerns about the withdrawal agreement per se, apart from the issue to do with the backstop, which we do need to be resolved. Now, that was proven in the Brady Amendment vote, which passed. I don't want to get too technical, but it's part two. What's our future relationship? That's where people argue. And they weren't willing to pass Theresa May's first piece, the withdrawal agreement, because they didn't know where she wanted to go in the second piece. Now, what I hope my party has now established is that if we don't all compromise, step back from that purest form of Brexit that perhaps we want, our party will suffer, politics will suffer, and we will end up in opposition.
Hi, I'm Joanna Bersecci, and thank you for watching. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more from CNBC International. Thank you for watching.